Things that we really worked hard at the last 2.5 years in Autodesk is to just move forward and try some of these things. I'll give you an example. About 2 years ago, when it was obvious that there was bandwidth out there, that our kind of customers were starting to really pay attention to the internet. Now, mind you, and I'm not going to say anything, I mean, you're engineers. Engineers, this stuff has to work, guys. You know that, right? The bridge has to stay up and the loads have to work and so forth. So you're not jumping on the latest little snazzy thing. So as soon as we found out our customers were really starting to seriously look at more of a wired collaborative world, it became obvious to us that having 24-month or 18-month release cycles didn't make sense, because we had to start moving things in there. We had to be able to publish a drawing to HTML. We had to be able to do net meetings inside a session of Inventor. We had to be able to do digital signatures, yada, 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 yada. All part of what I consider a connected world. We couldn't wait 24 months for this. So I brought in the lead engineering management and said, and the sort of architectural management guys, and said, I want, instead of releases every 24 months, every quarter I want a packet of releases that I call extensions that you can download. They said, can't do that. And I said, go away, come back next week, and we'll talk about it again. The next week they came back and they were prepared. Prepared meant they really couldn't do it. Prepared meant they had a lot of slides about why it wouldn't work. How they had a big QA process, and this happened and that happened, and they did marketing demand studies, and all of that engine rolled up, and 18 months later up popped a release. And they were good at that. And I said, you know, why don't you come back next week? But before you come back next week, let me tell you some more reasons why I think this is important. So we talked a lot about our customers can't wait 24 months for a response from us as to how to use the internet as part of their design cycle and their build manufacture cycle. I talked about how I believe software is going to be a service. It's not going to be something you get shrink wrapped. And in fact, if you subscribe to a magazine, if you want to read a magazine and I come to you and say, please subscribe to my magazine and it'll show up every 2 years, would you do it? Of course not. But if I say it's coming every week or every month, you're going to say, you know, I better subscribe to that because I might miss something. Even though maybe you aren't going to read that week, you're not going to read that week's Time magazine. You kind of peruse it and say, fine, and on you go. We got to get people up there saying if it's a service and it's going to be on the web and downloadable, something's always up there. Sent them back and said, come back next week. So now we're 2 weeks from the original date. When they came back, that third meeting, they had broken ranks. My favorite. And part of them said, you know, we're starting to figure out how maybe we could do this in 3-month cycles. There were still the others sitting there saying, can't do. And, you know, it's a little tough sometimes because I'm just technical enough that, you know, they can't goof on me too much. But they broke ranks, and to not make the story too long, 3 months later they delivered the first set of extensions. And we'll be delivering this quarter the 7th extension, so 7 quarters into it.